welcome to Assembly Audible. I'm your host, multimedia editor Jennifer Pierce, and we're so happy you're listening in today. We are recording from the Assembly Show in Rosemont, Illinois at the Donald E. Stephens Convention Center, and I am joined by Kim Casineau, who is the president of the Coding House. Kim, welcome to Assembly Audible.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So I understand this is the Coding House's first time exhibiting at the Assembly Show.
It is, and we're very excited to be here.
Okay, so tell us about your work, your company, and also your journey to becoming a business owner, specifically president of the Coding House in what many would consider a male-dominated industry.
Thank you. Yes, I consider that way as myself. So next week will be 8 years that I've owned the company.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm the third owner. It's been around for about 45 years. And the reason why I ended up with this company, I was literally in search of buying a company to employ women. Women who were clients of our local YWCA, who receive services. They're survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault. So that was my goal. I wanted to create a mentorship program and try to find meaningful work and mentor these women and give them a safe space. And I was originally looking for like a medical coding or something more female oriented. I happened to know the owner of the Coding House, and he said, you know, this type of work lends itself to women, smaller hands, more dexterity. He goes,
Really?
This would be a great opportunity. I had no knowledge of this company or the industry whatsoever, so it was like an on-the-job training when I went to go visit and observe. I had no idea this industry even existed. This is not my background at all. So I watched and looked for about 6 weeks, and I said, okay, yeah, I can see this, right? So this industry knows that this product exists. I just need to let them know I exist and I can do it. And
Absolutely.
So I Googled how to fund a small business, and 6 weeks later, I bought the company.
That's amazing.
It's crazy.
I looked at your LinkedIn profile and I saw your connection to, you said
YWCA.
YWCA,
Yes.
and I wondered what the correlation was there. And
Yeah.
It seems like you're active in your community and do, I don't know, volunteer work, or that's a passion of yours.
Yes, absolutely. Giving back to the community and empowering young women. I have 3 daughters, and I just know that helping women who have suffered trauma, they need to be supported, and to just be supported in a way, and also know that they value they can overcome anything. It takes a village, I believe, and I'm very proud to say I sit as the board president now. So it's been a very interesting journey since I bought this company, and the opportunities it's afforded me to be more prevalent in my community.
Okay, fantastic. Well, before we talk a little bit more in detail about the Coding House, let's talk about fasteners and processes sort of more generally. Why are fasteners and specific processes for fastening such a vital aspect of product assembly?
Oh my goodness, just the name alone, it fastens it, right? It fastens it, so you don't want it to come undone.
Right.
So what I've learned in this journey was, that most fasteners by design are designed to fail. Unless you have a highly skilled machined part, once you take a fastener and you insert it to its mating part, it has holes. So the products that we apply provide the strength or the ability to seal, to keep it from anti-vibration, to vibrating out, or leaking gas, water, or air. So there's many reasons why it's not a perfect part unless it's highly machined, which if it's that and it's custom made, it's very expensive. So the pre-applied Loctite was originally designed for the automotive industry specific. What we've been able to do in the Coding House is to take it and apply it more to smaller parts, where people are more used of using liquid Loctite, like the bottles. Most DIY people know of that.
Oh, I love that glue.
Right. So we're only business to business. We don't sell retail. And what we're able to do, and especially why we thought to come here, anything that's being assembled with small components, now we apply our pre-applied, and they're standardized. So every screw has the exact same amount. It's going to perform the same way. So there's no failures in the field, which you want to avoid at all costs.
Yeah.
Especially as if you're assembling something and selling it.
I bet there's a connection with what you just said to my next question, which is as manufacturing becomes more technologically advanced, how has fastening the market changed for your business?
For us, we actually grew during pandemic because we were considered essential. We have some DoD contracts, so we had to stay, which we were able to do anyway, but it did allow us to become more valuable to our customers. We started sourcing the parts. Originally, when I bought the company, customers would send us their threaded parts and we would coat them based on specifications, and then what we found is we could be a value add and a complete source. So that's been helpful for us to expand for our customers' needs. But the fastening industry, as far as the way you assemble with the robotic arms, I mean, it's great what I'm seeing in this show today. There's just so many ways of doing things, and sometimes things are done without fasteners. They're using adhesives, like in cars and everything. They're getting away from screws, but some things you can never not use a screw.
Right.
So there'll always be a need for what we do.
Right. So how does it change depending on what industry you're serving? Because I understand that you serve a wide range of industries, from aerospace, automotive, electronics, and medical devices, just to name a few. And so what are some of the overarching trends or challenges you're seeing there, and how does your business change or alter depending on which industry you're serving?
Well, usually we will work with a customer, but by and large, we're getting specifications from our customers. So they've already had an engineer draw it out. They know the product they want to use. So we accommodate that. We might be able to help them understand that what they're specifying might be overkill. So we can alter it a little bit, but we try to just perform what the customer is asking for because they have their engineers telling us how we want it to be applied. But the industry, it's just the different types of products we use is the level of locking. So it's either low, medium, or high strength, depending upon if they need to remove it, to repair, or if it's something that's going to stay in until it has its life cycle and it terms out. So basically, that doesn't change based on, it depends on what they need the screw to do.
I see.
Yeah.
So what are some of the challenges that manufacturers are facing specific to the fastening industry? Or
having sources, right, to
supply chain,
yeah. So pandemic brought a whole glaring issues of when it was overseas, stuck on ships and things like that. So but also being cost competitive with what's made in the United States. So it's just trying to find good, reliable vendors and suppliers that you can trust. One of the things that we do is we try to eliminate the need for them to go to many different places, so we streamline it for them. And all I try to treat my customers and my vendors the same way I want to be treated.
Yeah.
So transparency. If something's delayed, let me know so I can let my customer know. A lot of people hide.
Right.
You know what I mean? They don't answer the phone or they don't email because they don't have good news.
Right.
So that's not a good thing in my opinion.
I do have in my notes here, you talked about certifications and standards. Do you want to touch upon that a little bit?
Sure. So when I first bought the company, we had no certifications. So we became woman-owned and certified as that, and then our QMS. So we're ISO standard to ISO 901. 2015, we're certified, and to Aerospace 9100. So we got those certifications within the last 5 years.
Great.
Yes.
What does that do? Is that just a guarantee, or are there clients that have to meet that requirement in order to source things, or how does that work?
Yes, exactly. So we could not have some of the customers we have if we did not do those certifications. And it just made sense to give them. So the quality is to just say the ISO 9100 is just to say that we follow a process and we have a high quality, and we're checking that to make sure we're delivering quality parts to our customer, because everybody wants, and then we have certifications that follow the manufacturing of the actual fastener. So we get certs that are traceable, so you know that they're not counterfeit parts and things of that nature, which is peace of mind, and it's required for Department of Defense contracts.
Absolutely. Well, that makes a lot of sense. A lot of people these days are talking about inclusivity and diversity in manufacturing. Obviously, women in manufacturing is a key topic. So I'm excited to interview you for that reason. So what advice would you give to female entrepreneurs in manufacturing, or perhaps students that were considering this as a field?
I say whatever, you take the risk. You don't have to have it all figured out. My background was not in this industry, so, but it's amazing the help that people want to give you along the way. So if you have a passion to be an entrepreneur, own a company, and step into this field, it's a huge industry. The previous owner, who was a friend of mine, he goes, this is like a $7 billion industry. Way back then, and he goes, and he had to, it's just, there's enough to go around, so why not? And it's been an amazing journey for me just to learn and go to these shows and just to be more around the science. And I never would have imagined, if you told me, 10 years ago I'd be sitting here doing this with you in this industry, in this business. No way. It's not like I grew up, I wanted to do, no. It's just amazing.
Well, so many of those things weren't presented as options, even, when we were in school, or what we were sort of, programmed to think
female jobs
we could accomplish. Yes. So that's really amazing that you took the risk and that it's paying off.
Yes. Well, for me, my mindset has always been, why not? Instead of why should I do this? Why not? I can do this. I can sell. I can talk, and it's like, I just need to let people know I'm here doing this because they already know they need it. Mm-hmm. That's what I thought. I go, there's a whole industry that uses Loctite. Yeah. Just because I didn't know about it. So I'm like, I just need to let them know I'm here and I'm doing it.
Right.
And that's kind of how.
That's amazing.
That was the mindset I had.
Yeah. So what is on the horizon? It's your first time at the Assembly Show. To close with, what do you see on the horizon for the Coding House?
Well, there's a lot of things going on. We've just got a new robotic arm in the shop, so I hire people. I don't want to get away from not hiring people. We're very diverse. So I'm trying to decide, we're growing. Do I buy a building? Do I morph into other things? I kind of let my customers help me navigate that. Whatever they're asking me for, I think, okay, let me look into see if I can help serve that need.
Okay, great. Well, so if our listeners want to learn more about the Coding House or get in touch with you or a member of your staff, what is the best course of action?
Oh, reach out to us online, www.thecodinghouse.com, and you can reach out. I don't know my toll-free number off the top of my head.
That's okay.
413-525-3100 is our phone number.
That's amazing.
And I would love to hear from you. And you will get a real person. We do not have a phone tree. You will actually get a live person answering the phone.
Amazing. Well, Kim, I'm so happy to have you at the Assembly Show, and thank you so much for making time for this conversation.
Thank you so much for having me, Jennifer. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I actually had a good time.
Yeah, no, that's the goal. I mean, it's so much fun, right? The environment, it's tangible, the energy is contagious, so yes. we try to have a good time when we're recording. So
I can tell you do.
Yay! Yeah. I'm happy to hear that. All right, well, thank you for tuning in to this episode of Assembly Audible. We invite you to check out all of our content, webinars, and events on assemblymag.com. I'm Jennifer Pierce, signing off from the Assembly Show with Kim from the Coding House. Thanks for listening.